stuff. Like I had YouTube videos knocked down to 480p or lower.
Oh.
And I'm like, we have damn good internet. Like I should never watch something in grainy footage.
Yeah. What service do you guys use?
Comcast.
Us too, because I've been noticing too. Like I'll have a lot of like just random like 5-second disconnects.
Weird.
You guys having that with my games today? Weird.
I was playing Kingmaker and Steam was just like, hey, you're in offline mode now. I'm like, fucking bitch, what?
Actually, it could be.
Yeah.
Can we see where they went?
Yeah, this one comes back up.
From where
More
we-
than less. Like you can't see exactly, but you can tell they kind of like dipped behind some cover.
So what?
And it's,
At that point, I guess Nels will say, "All right, let's follow them, because we can be a little more sneaky."
Okay. So that's fine.
so after he woke him up, Dex, one of the guys, and by the way, Maldrick knows that there was 5 of them in total.
Nice.
Barely hears them knocking. Oh, I got you. And they do a little tussle with the Cyclops. The Cyclops does end up getting knocked out again, but they're looking around like, what the crap happened? Figure out how the hell did the rope get cut, and that sort of thing. It's like, well, I mean, that's not why we brought extra rope, but we luckily have more rope, so they try it again. They're kind of looking around, making sure to take his giant ass weapon. And it's like, he doesn't have any small weapons. No, look at you, just woke up. You didn't do it, did you? No, why would I do that? That could have been me that got freaking knocked out. You okay? Yeah, he's fine. Okay. Just getting picky with themselves a little bit, trying to figure it out.
So one of the people is unconscious now. He gets solid,
Basically, yeah. Oh, also funny thing, because of the silence, they have to step away from the cart to talk. So, but they're basically just trying to figure out what the crap happened. Not really sure what happened. Get back to where it was, and then if nothing else happens, they will continue onward.
Okay.
So you do notice as you guys are approaching, you keep an eye out. It's like, yeah, they must have stopped because otherwise they would have been envisioned by now. But other than that, they do that, and they continue on their way. You do end up seeing them carrying onward with a unconscious Cyclops.
Once again, in transport, I'm going to cut the binds when we arrive somewhere. I'm going to wake him up.
Through the spyglass, did I see? Did they wake up their unconscious party member? Or is he just like in the cart?
Oh, there's one guy laying in the cart also. Yeah, unconscious.
Ooh, how badly is he? Can I make a?
You can give me a perception check.
Can I make a heal check? Something like that. You make healing trained, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to guesstimate how hurt he is.
22.
So you can tell he's injured.
Looks like
Yeah, I
Maverick's
don't
up
have it.
to
So 25.
You guys see how injured he is?
Yeah, I want to look him over while I'm fessing with the binds.
I mean, definitely didn't kill him. He's gonna need some attention later. That's for sure. Otherwise, he's gonna be out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Of this sort of thing, at least.
I kind of want to kill him. Just to add to the mystery. No, I'm gonna try and position him in a way that if the Cyclops rolls over, he gets squeezed.
So I kind of picture like the Cyclops, like if the Cyclops kind of like laying like this, she's kind of like on his side, like on his leg.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try and every time like we hit a bump in the road or something like that, nudge him to where he's like on the side of the Cyclops.
So instead of like if this is the leg, this is him, you want to kind of try to turn him?
Yeah, so that way he leans to the edge of the cart. Yeah. Just to see, just to add a little more chaos.
You just hear.
Squeeze.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
A series of popping noises.
Oh, they're under a silence, so there is no noises.
That's a good point. They also don't hear him moving. They have to actually be seeing it.
Because I'm really focused on not being caught out here, so.
Yeah. It's starting to get dark, but you are able to do that.
Cool. I think it's darker. Nelson's probably going to recommend that they head back to camp. Aldrin can handle himself.
Okay. Oh, for sure.
And you definitely saw evidence that Maldrick is messing with things.
There's a lot.
You basically see that looks like Maldrick does something. You kind of see a bird next to the corpse as it kind of sits there, and like a bump happens, and the bird just nudges the body.
Just like, go.
Like, I don't know what you do, but it's probably good. So, he doesn't just get splatted deaded, but it definitely would not be comfortable for him where he ends up at, that's for sure.
Because when we stop, I want to wake this boy up. Maybe he grabs the boy and uses him as a weapon. I don't know.
And take the axe away, put him where the axe was, and see what happens.
They already took the axe away.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
They end up meeting up with some others. It looks like they have a better way of transporting a cyclops who is unwilling to be transported.
The cage.
Basically, yeah.
I'll wake him up when we meet them.
Okay. He wakes up, he causes some more trouble. He gets wounded instead of just magic to knock out. And then ends up being knocked out, yes. Much more forcefully this time.
Run
Toss him in the
spell
cage,
slots.
lock it. Yeah, I mean that might be part of it. Toss him in the cage, lock it. Horse and car and stuff, and just chill along.
I'll go with these guys. I'll dip into the cage and I'll use Cure Light Wounds to heal the Cyclops.
You heal the Cyclops.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go outside the cage. What's it look like out here?
What does the cage look like, or?
No, like the setup. Is it like a covered wagon with a cage in it?
Yeah. That was what I was picturing.
Is anyone okay? So my idea is to turn back into a gripply form, pick this lock, and ensue some more chaos. Is anyone gonna notice me doing that? Anybody watching the door?
I think you have a good chance of getting away with it.
I have a good chance.
There's a chance that you'll get caught, but
So you're saying there's a chance.
yes.
Alrighty. So then that number needs to change to a +2. I had Masterwork Thieves tools. No! Okay. 16 plus 18 is 34.
So, as you are doing that, roll me a stealth check.
Don't worry, I'm not diminutive. Are we in a jungle or a swamp? I don't think it counts.
You don't think it matters, or you don't think it counts?
The Griplies, they get +4 stealth bonus in certain terrains.
Oh,
In certain, yeah.
that makes sense.
And though we are in a jungle, swamp, swamp technically, I'm in a cart, so I don't think that I would.
Yeah.
But
So
the
what do you
rules are 38.
So, you do notice basically someone like opening the cart, and you're able to kind of notice it quick enough, dip, kind of like
Like
look
underneath
in,
like a wagon
check.
seat.
You have your guy look. You see the guy look at the Cyclops. They gone better than that. Oh well. He basically goes back outside.
And he's still got all his blood and stuff.
That's
all
fair.
His cuts still bleeding.
He doesn't look as bad as he did before. I was like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, thought they got better than that. And then you finish picking the lock.
I'm gonna try and subtly wake up the Cyclops. Without using a full force peck.
So you know, kind of subtly, you're kind of like up by its head, and it can't hear.
I can envision like a little bird.
This
just
hasn't
like,
worked the last 2 times. But I'm letting you out for a 3rd time.
hello, little bird.
I mean, very quietly.
I'm a frog man right now.
Yeah. Froggy. Froggy. What is happening?
You're being taken by small folk. I don't know where. I don't know why. But when they stop, it should be at their main base. And that should give you a chance to see where you are. And I'm gonna try and help you get away. So you go back and tell the people.
Do I try to leave now?
No, we have to know where they're
until we get to the spot.
So this ended up being a little while. It is off in the middle of the night. You guys, I guess, are back at camp. Just like, I guess we can go to sleep or something.
Frogman and a cyclops spent a couple hours just playing rock paper scissors.
We sing our s'mores, we sing our kumbayas.
Well, I spent the whole trip just on the outside of the wagon waiting to see where we're going. I'm gonna try and memorize what we're doing.
You basically tell that they're taking a road back to some sort of a settlement. Is what ends up going.
Would you say that the 3 cure light wounds I had prepared are good enough?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nils will take first watch.
He unfortunately doesn't have any weapons on him, but
All I need him to do, as for the plan, is notice where we are, and I'm gonna fill him in every now and then. I'm like, hey, this is where I think we've gone so far, so he can kind of get his way back to camp. And all he has to do is run.
as you're basically describing it, he basically says, again, is that
Wait for my signal to break out of the cage, though. It's then be them screaming.
it's gonna be what?
It's gonna be the small folks screaming.
Okay. Whenever you are ready. And kind of prop yourself up a little bit.
So whenever we stop in their camp, I'm gonna kind of just.
So you basically see it's coming up to like an actual like town.
Okay. I'm gonna, while it's still going up, I'm gonna fly up, try and do like a bird's eye view. And I'll fly back down. And I'll cast Live Oak on a nearby tree.
Okay. So you say because an animated object, like tree ends, or okay.
I make a tree in, and that tree doesn't turn back into a tree for a day per caster level.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, hello, tree friend. Would you kindly smash all the things? He's like, hey, I'm good at that now.
It's like, oh. Is it like friendly towards you? Like it just kind of is like, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty
I'll
sure.
Live Oak again.
Like I feel like it should for a spell like this, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only reason it's alive.
yeah, that one.
If you were the caretaker of the garden or area it happens to be from, it is more inclined to be friends with you.
That's fair.
Smash.
Yeah, it doesn't say that it is or is not.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say
It
it.
just says it turns it into a, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Says okay. Them. So coming up.
Well, I would say smash the town.
Oh,
So
smash
I'm-
the town.
yeah. I'm gonna time it so that when they're approaching town, I'll turn a tree close to town into a tree end and just say smash on all the buildings.
Okay. Well, we know trees are good at smashing buildings.
Yep.
It's funny how that works.
Yep.
It's like they're good at like destroying civilization. Bring down the man.
Yep.
And then it goes and does that.
And then just so that I can go pee right quick, I'm gonna use a combination of my 2 stone shapes and a wind wall to make sure our Cyclops friend gets out of here alive.
I see what you mean. You give the signal, trees start smashing some things, and Cyclops goes, ooh, starts booking it like, ha ha, wall of wind. Can't shoot it. Oh, you try to chase it, wall of stone.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely does some pretty good stuff. He uses some of his cyclopsian stuff to help navigate things and get out, and he skedaddles.
I suppose I have a couple others. I can do like an entangle and some other silly stuff.
I mean, yeah, I guess entangle. Entangle.
Yes.
Yeah,
It makes it
Always.
difficult to rain.
it does.
Always
That's good.
entangle.
It's a thing.
It's on that.
So yeah, Cyclops gets out of there.
Okay. I'm gonna observe the town for a little bit before using the. I mentioned it, so I put it down on my spell list. The transport via plants.
Why not? It's a good spell.
It's a 6th level spell, and I don't want to spend forever searching. So.
That's fair. Well, poor little tree ants, they end up using fire on it. But yeah.
Once they start actually fighting it, I'm gonna tell it to run away.
Okay.
And they're like, all right, your job's done.
Okay.
Go enjoy life for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. It does run. They don't pursue it too much.
Go take a bath.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna eavesdrop for a bit and see what I can pick up from these guys. I am curious how they react to the
They more or less will have a reaction of they've never had any, they never actually fight back. Things are apparently starting to get more difficult. Maybe the Cyclops are starting to actually pick up on what's going on. It's been a pretty easy picking so far. About how they kind of need to be more careful in the future.
Do they let slip what they're using it for?
No. No. Yeah.
Do they mention like a quota or a deadline that we're supposed to have it done by? Or any kind of like, oh, should we really needed that one? Or is there anything else of like, oh, don't worry, so-and-so's group brought in 2, or we have this many groups out right now. Just little stuff like that.
I would.
If they were just random people in an anime world, they would give all the information Austin needs. Because
I just want some of the information.
random people in anime worlds give way too much information.
Yes, you are about to be killed. So let me tell you my entire plan and how I did everything.
No, it's just like whenever you see like there's a large group of people, they just say things. And you're
I'm
like,
so glad boss so-and-so set up such and such a person so that we didn't get the blame for attacking that village.
yes.
Ho 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 ho.
And you're like, that's convenient. Now he knows you're a bad guy. Go fight him in.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking of like being frustrated about the job.
You would overhear one of them talking to what definitely looks like a higher up. Like, it's fine. We've had enough. The missing one every here and every once in a while isn't an issue like this. But we will take more precautions in the future to help ensure something unusual like this doesn't happen again. Yes, you did.
It was a joke to do. I had fun to do.
It's just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, bro.
Just a prank. No, for the most part, it seems like they don't think it's the biggest of deals. From the sounds of it, there is some sort of quota that they had already met, so wasn't too big of an issue that this happened.
Okay. I'm just gonna pursue the Cyclops and ensure his safety all the way back to his village.
Yeah,
And also hitch a ride.
that's fair.
Flying that far is a lot of work.
Don't get back till morning. He is sleeping, but he greatly appreciates it. He does not know what will happen to him in there.
That's the next step. But for now, we gotta convince enough Cyclopses to go at it. Find out.
I like that plan.
Yeah. They're doing something bad.
I like Frogman. Who's Frogman?
Maldrick.
I love Maldrick.
Was once known as the Great Swan. Now turned into a swan.
Oh, swans. They mean good luck, according to Prathos.
Just
Having
gonna
the
litter
size of
history.
them.
I'm just gonna litter history with swans.
Swans mean good fortune.
They usually do.
I appreciate it, Maldrick.
Maldrick the Swan at your service.
I'm just gonna litter history with swans. Oh, that's awesome. Well, Maldrick ends up returning next morning.
That's good.
Welcome back.
Well, apparently it's not morning yet because he's not back.
Fair enough.
Well,
We
I
will-
mean, I imagine he explains what happens to him,
That's fair.
and then
He animated a tree and attacked some dudes. Cyclops ran away. He made Cyclops run away. He talked about how swans are awesome. So swan. Yeah. And then they spent a couple hours walking back.
so what's our plan now? Wait for the Cyclops to get back and go into town.
Well, he came back with the Cyclops. So Cyclops
Oh,
is basically returning to his village, and Maldrick saying, "Wee, hi guys." I imagine.
Do we wish to
Now
investigate
we
the
just
threat
let him
ourselves?
go talk to everybody, and he'll spread the word. These humans in this place are taking the Cyclopses, and we're done.
Well, we have to make sure that somehow
Oh, sure.
they use this as a play to work with the other Cyclopses.
This is probably the time that we go in and talk to
Rurik?
Rurik.
Rurik?
Rulik.
Rulik. Let's go talk to him then.
And see if we can convince the Vilborg tribe that we're cool.
We cool, dog.
And then
Just walk up. Don't worry, dogs. We cool.
we go and kind of rinse, repeat the same process. Or send a variation of it with the other tribes and say, hey, if you want to stop this, we already got some friends over at the Vilborg. If you want to work together with them and us, we can stop this. If you or a loved one is suffered from mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
I don't like it.
They're trying as best as they can.
Oh.
And dark.
Choo 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 choo.
Yes.
Brush for brush. Brush for brush for brush for brush.
Something like that.
That was an interesting show. Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, yeah.
Didi, that's all my laboratory.
I liked the what was it, Justice Friends or the superhero spin-off that they'd have on the show.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have like the Infraggable Krunk and like rip off Captain America and rip off Thor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the random stuff that they would do. Like there was one episode where it was like no dialogue. It was just
Oh yeah.
his mom getting a replacement light bulb.
Oh gosh. There were some weird episodes like that. Yeah.
Omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage.
Jeez.
And then the episode where he gets his dog to talk. It's a thing. It's a thing. Hey look, it's a thing.
So yeah.
What is your plan, guys?
We're gonna go talk to Rurik.
Okay. Maldrick needs to sleep in order to reset his spells that he used, so.
We can carry you.
No, you can
You
just
just take a nap here.
you can just not mention Maldrick this one. Let him be an ethereal being.
Sure.
Who randomly helps Cyclops.
So, you stroll into town. Depending on the time that you go in, like with, before, after the Cyclops, if you wanted.
We'll go in a bit afterwards. Let
Bit
him have a
afterwards.
chance to talk about his grand escape.
And how he was saved by a Baldric the Swan, who used other forms to help those in need.
He uses
Shape-changing Swan.
the form needed.
But he is Swan.
He is one.
So you guys stroll into town. There is a small little celebration for the Misty Cyclops return, and like a meeting basically discussing what happened. You do see that there are some small folk in the tribe. There's a couple people. You definitely tell they're some sort of like rangers or tourists or stuff like that, since they're off in the wilderness. Go figure. Sort of people, but they do seem to coexist with the Cyclops in their little societies.
Yay.
So basically, I will say, when you guys stroll up, you do see one of the Cyclops, who looks like probably an elder, one of the older ones, talking about how these humans in Lurgan have always been a nuisance, and we have never been able to do anything about them. And others chiming in about how we've never known for sure if it was them or not, or some outside force. About how they can take them on, they just gotta set traps for them and be aware, and they will stop if you keep beating them at their own game. And basically talk about strategy possibilities. And as you look around, you definitely see a bigger cyclops who seems to just be kind of sitting on the side in a nicer chair, just kind of listening, observing. But yeah, that's where you guys walk in on.
So as we walk up, do people notice us? Or are they so involved in what they're doing that they don't notice us?
So it's like basically like you say two circles. There's like the main circle of probably like the elders and the important people, and there's pretty much like everyone else kind of off on the side. Some are just listening to the conversation. Some are doing their morning or daily routine of things. But it sounds like most people are at least listening to some capacity to what is happening.
So Cassandra will look to her two friends and say, well, shall we make our presence known?
I agree.
Pulls out little
How do you
streamers.
agree to a question?
Are you what?
He said, should we reveal ourselves? He said, I agree. And I said, sure. I was asking him, how do you agree to a question?
I'll pretend that I agree to you saying sure.
We'll retcon the delay and the agree.
Pretty much.
Take it, guys.
No. I specifically remember it going in that order.
Time travel's weird, okay? You hear things in different order sometimes.
No. Even the sword said so.
Have you met Sharik of the Many? Okay, never mind. He was a funny NPC in Kingmaker.
I just finished the first
Oh,
world.
do you keep Jubilee in your party?
I don't walk around.
Jubilee, the sparkly cycle.
So his campaign quest, it's an NPC you'll come across in his campaign quest stuff.
It'll just pop up.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, you don't have to carry them with you for the
Yeah.
no quests at the pop
It's
up.
just the easiest, fastest way to do it. I just finished the first world, and then we go to the first world.
You go there a lot. You go there a couple times.
The first time.
I don't remember which one's the first time.
Where you just stop the bloom and you.
Oh, the
pick a
bloom
big
stuff, yes.
Flower, like
Yeah.
the really important first one.
Yeah.
And then I did Miri's second quest where you go find her tribe.
Yeah.
Did you stop her from while she was beating the chieftain?
I don't think so.
It was neutral good, stop her. Neutral, do nothing. Or evil.
No, I let her kill him.
You did neutral?
I think I did nothing yet.
I was surprised. I thought she would just beat him up.
Yeah, no, she kills him.
So,
Oh, you went out now?
when they're discussing, like, now that we finally have the evidence, and I will say, in a very raised voice, so everyone in both circles, and Rule Lick or Rule Rick? Rule Lick will hear, and I will say,
Don't talk too loud for the stream.
okay, and do you plan on facing this alone?
Wallen will gesture to everyone. Well, of course not. Look at all of us that are here. And Rulik basically saying the first thing, I don't think that's what she means.
Do you think one tribe of cyclopses, no matter how prepared, no matter how many traps you lay, can take on the entire nation that is opposed against you?
Basically, because he spoke, they all look to him to answer the question now that he's put himself back into the discussion.
Rulik,
And what do you propose exactly, my new little friend?
you are a strong and wise leader, are you not? What about using your knowledge and your information to work with the other tribes of cyclopses? Lead them against the opposing nation.
Why
And-
would they come help us with our problem?
Are you sure it's only your problem?
Are you saying it's not?
I am.
We have reason to believe that other tribes along the area are having a similar, if not the exact same issue.
One of the other elders will pipe up. Do you have proof that shows that this is the case, or are you just coming in and expect us to believe some outsiders?
We don't have proof, do we?
Well, we did overhear a conversation about how losing one every once in a while is not too big of a deal. And I don't know how many have been taken from your village specifically, but it sounded like that they were taking in a lot. And also, I mean, if you want proof, you could always, I don't know, go send a messenger to a nearby tribe and ask them if they're having their own issue.
He'll look to one of the other elders who hasn't been so loud and annoying. When you said initially that this threat was bigger than we thought it was, could that have been what your vision implied? I think so, sir. It is very likely that these humanoids speak truth. We've never had a reason to ask such things because it's not typical, but that does not mean they are incorrect.
And what a clever ploy to exploit the tribes while they are isolated and alone. Do you think they'd have success if you were to band together under one flag?
Just think of all the things that you could accomplish with so many cyclops.
And of course, I think the tribe to come with the evidence and to set up the meetings and to orchestrate this would be in a very good position to come out on top. Wouldn't you agree?
Your idea seems to be correct, but your method not so much. But that is not what is important. Some of the tribes in the area are weaker and a few would be considered stronger. If this is happening to a lot of the others, some would willingly accept the help. Others would have a harder time admitting their struggles. But that does not mean they cannot be proven wrong. What is your name?
I am Cassandra.
Miss Cassandra, I cannot help but wonder, what is you get out of all of this? Have you been plagued by these same misfortunes? Have Lurgan given you troubles as well?
No, they have not. But as a follower of Eridan, I think we are being greatly, I believe it a great misfortune that the once proud Cyclops race is not forming a mighty civilization. A civilization that can enter into the world and work along with other civilizations here, trade, grow, become stronger. Golgan was once the mighty civilization in the land, and now look, you are scattered tribes. I think that should be fixed.
You made a diplomacy roll for your inspirational little speech, Miss.
Well, that fucking sucks, bud. -1.
Ah! I was like, does he have brains? Look at him.
Ah! I
Dang.
got a 0 diplomacy.
You have double my bonus.
Wait, double 0? How do you have half of 0?
Wait, no. I have double your bonus.
Oh.
That's how the math works.
You have -2.
I also have -2.
Yes. Spencer, what's your charisma? 8?
-2.
Oh, that's funny how that works. No,
So our last specialized squad party were all charisma boys except one, and now we are no charisma boys.
My intimidate's pretty okay.
I like that the
I have
cumulative charisma modifiers is -6,
-8.
-8, never mind.
7.
7.
Minus 7.
Yeah, you did say -2, -1. That's awesome.
I got an 11 to intimidate.
Well, that definitely could be helpful.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting your character to be the one with intimidate, but
Oh, To intimidate, I also have a -1.
Weird.
I was really hoping you actually had a modifier to intimidate with that, but no, you didn't.
It's almost like you have a -1 to charisma and no
Ranks.
no ranks in any of the charisma skills.
Wait, do you have intimidating prowess? Maybe that would help your charisma score. We get to add strength to it.
Oh, my 0 strength score.
Oh right, never mind.
Yeah, this party doesn't have strength or charisma, huh?
Nope.
My strength and charisma are the same.
Awesome.
At least my strength goes into the dump stat.
Why not?
What's wrong with your strength being a dump stat?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? You
Okay.
jerk.
Yeah,
Saying
Brandon.
there's something wrong with my character, Brandon?
Yes.
Well, fuck you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, you have a 10 also. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I'm a
Cassandra.
wizard. What do I need strength for?
I'm a druid. What do I need strength for?
He's a fighter. What does he need? Oh wait.
Oh wait.
What? He's a melee fighter. What is he? Oh wait.
Brandon could have got diplomacy off int.
I mean, that's true.
I took the trait to get UMD to int.
You could always use one of your billion feats to get 2 extra traits.
I could.
Anyways, after that beautiful display,
Wait, why did you decide to be a dex fighter?
Worked out better.
Okay.
because you 2-weapon fighting, you need dex.
You need a 15.
For 2-weapon fighting. Improved and greater, you need higher though.
You need a 13 for regular, 15 for improved.
I don't think so, no.
That is how that works.
Is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy.
I think like the highest you need is a 17.
Oh, up to 19.
I don't think so.
Greater.
No, I think because of the net 17. I think they're right.
Um,
I originally was going to be a strength sort of board, but I just reran the numbers and doing dex and having one less stat to worry about just made everything line up better.
No, it is 15, 17, 19.
Oh.
oh.
Anyways, back to this in your beautiful speech and your fantastic role that you totally had.
Dude, I've been crushing every single one of my rolls that was asked. I rolled a 1 and a 2 and a 3 on the 3 rolls that were asked.
Brandon, now you're rolling Austin's Kingmaker rolls.
Or just Mitch's normal rules. I do that a lot.
It's funny that a follower of Eridan wants Cyclops to form a nation against humans.
Well, I mean, technically, it's not like we have anything against the humans themselves, but if you're having a problem with humans, there's really no reason that you shouldn't band together to deal with it. I, for one, find it very odd that you would just befriend those of the same race because you're the same race. That's a very odd thing to do.
Yeah, you racist bastard. I didn't say that.
I mean, seeing as how
I mean, it's a very elvish thing to do,
You-
I suppose.
Elvish, selfish, you know.
Yeah, I always found that a weird part of our culture. That's why I was okay that I left.
Well, I will say I do not understand your reasoning for it.
Those people mess with your people, so you
But
should
you
mess
do
with those
have
people.
a point.
How
Well,
does
he
that-
looked at her,
I'm sorry,
what
but-
she said when
Okay,
he said
so I
that.
was gonna say, like, I don't know where you got
Said
lost on
your
that logic. but-
reasoning for it.
The best part is because it was just a singular die roll, we could just use Olga Mocha to keep resetting the reset button until we got the die roll correct.
It's not really how that would work.
We're
Yeah.
saying, we do the exact same thing every time we come back. We get to this exact point because people are gonna react the same way if nothing's changed, and then we just say
We're not
something
same
different
scummy
this
this. Stop it. It's reserved exclusively for Kingmaker.
time.
nope.
Wait, so our 50th try with the speech.
You know, I
7.
feel like we need to work on getting like a save point added to this artifact, so that we can just
11.
save before we go into one of these sorts of
Wow.
things, and then just
Boom,
reload
there we
the
go.
last
If
save.
you know you're going into
18.
story dialogue, you are required to save the game. And if at any point in time you're able to leave that dialogue without ending the conversation, you have to save again.
Welcome to Kingmaker. What, you're gonna do anything safe?
You're like, well, I'm in a dead end, and that says skill check. Safe. Oh, it's horrible. Bye.
Load. Go back. I don't want to go there. There's 3 ferocious owlbears. I'm only level 6.
Cyclops-sized coffin. Do you just smash it open? Do you cleverly open it? Or do you just fuck off?
Smash.
There's a giant cyclops inside. He tries to kill you.
Well, no,
Is it a vampire cyclops?
No, there's a lot of undead cyclops, but no vampire.
I like the idea. There's no real reason for it, but I would like the idea of like a cyclops vampire also just having like one vampire fang.
Right in the middle.
Oh.
There's no actually reason for it. I'm pretty sure that as they're drawn, they actually do have the 2 like incisors.
Yeah, they have 2 big tusks.
but I would just be highly entertained by that.
It actually would be really funny to see. They would look like giant turks. So while
Here comes this terrifying 12-foot monstrosity, just like throwing cattle and horses out of the way to come get you. Tears your house in half, and then you're like.
So while I do not understand your reasoning for it exactly, you do have a point. Some of the other tribes, the weaker ones, will be easier to persuade. It's the larger ones, the ones with more ego, that would need a little more convincing.
Once you're united with the smaller tribes, you will be the bigger tribe.
Yes, but that does not mean they will see it that way. The Cyclops, at least in this region, while strength is not the only thing that matters, some make it weigh the most. And to challenge a leader is still to challenge a leader.
You look like you can handle yourself.
That's the idea. I am here for a reason. I mean, it's part of it.
So, we're going to use your epidemic, but we're going to give all of the leaders the shits when Rulik goes to fight
So
them.
not epidemic, she's gonna use contagion. She's
Oh,
gonna
there
give
you go.
that one
Yeah.
the shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it's highly contagious.
Oh, that's
Highly contagious. Otherwise they like look at someone and they get the disease almost.
I don't know. That's quite effective.
Oh, you have the
Plan
shits now.
A. I mean, if we want to go back to wiping out all but one of them, I mean, I feel like spreading a deadly
It's the
disease
reason why
is
we
a
didn't
pretty
want to
good
do
way
this.
do that.
Crack those eggs and have one frozen.
Eggs?
Eggs in the refrigerator.
No.
I just cracked them open and it was frozen.
Whoa.
Oh, weird.
Oh wow.
Our refrigerator it's not a great refrigerator.
That's fair.
That's some
So,
big 12 points in the back.
Mid shelf.
I haven't actually had those eggs for a while. And they're frozen?
One of them I had. I got two that have side by side. One was regular. One was
There would
frozen.
be a lot of wiping.
What does it look like when it's frozen?
The whole white comes out and it hits a circle and then slowly cooks inward.
Oh.
So I cracked one of the yolks. I'm making ramen, and the yolk just kind of runs through the water, and it just slowly starts to cook in little bits here and there, leading back to the yellow. And this one's just like here's a poof. Like 90% of the egg whites were frozen. So it's just circled.
Huh.
That is so weird.
We could pull a gladiator, and as Rulik is going to fight the other chieftains, we could stab the other chieftains so they're weaker in the fight.
I mean, for some of them that might be necessary.
We'll figure that out as we come to it.
Yes. So as that, he proposes to meet some of the other tribes over the next couple of days, discussing the unfortunate events that have been happening as of late in this region. He also asks if you would join them. Were you planning on joining them?
Yes.
Since you were the ones who came up with the idea.
Sure.
Certainly. Perhaps we can assist as we assisted your fortunate tribesmen.
Was that not a swan who it.
That is Friends of the Swan.
Friends of the Swan. And where would
Alright,
this?
we found a name for our time traveling group.
Friends of the Swan.
And where would this swan be now?
Currently resting. He's having a long night.
Kind of looks like one of the random tents. That's what it would seem. Well, then have your swan friend ready
Damn it.
for tomorrow morning.
Of
That was
course.
hot on my feet.
Oh.
My
Oh.
hole was too small.
Oof.
Oh,
It splashed.
rough.
There's one of my 2 eggs. That was the better egg.
That was the better egg. So on that note, they will prepare to make a little travel in the morning.
Hooray!
Yay, adventures! So, they will, over the course of the next day, describe or mention the other 8 tribes. Well, I did come up with names of them all. It sounds like by that Spencer likes notes. Notes. So, they mentioned the 4 that they will travel to first, who are smaller and or more would be more willing to join. These are funny words.
Perfect.
It's like, hey, let's go to this name generator and
Gorgamorsh?
Gardenflower.
Burgadurgan.
your daughter? your daughter? And Bergthora?
Wait, your daughter?
No! But as soon as I say that loud, that's what it sounded like.
Green's daughter?
Here's Spencer, you look at these 2 words as I iterate.
Oh.
So I went to a name generator. I was like, let's click on a random game for names
Oh, that's cool.
to just use those.
So we've got Ymir's daughter. So it'd be Ymir's daughter.
Ymir's daughter.
And Bergthora.
Bergthora. Oh, what was easier to say? Those 2 are the smallest tribes in the area that would be most likely to join more willingly.
He's a very global.
Dala and Solvi.
Or 2 other that might need a little convincing, but shouldn't actually take too much. Those 4 should basically be the 4 that would be the easy ones to get. So over the next week, they travel around to those 4. The first 2, well, not necessarily in that order, but those first 2's names that were mentioned,
Yes.
do basically join willingly and accept the help, as they are not handling these threats nearly as well as they would like.
Fair.
Dala and Solvig do not like it initially. Dala will end up joining, and Solvig will challenge Rulik to it, but will not stand the best chance against him in a 1v1 fight. I was picturing how that Catherine would go. I actually thought of the Warcraft movie. Where it's basically just 2 big old orcs just beating the crap out of each other.
Except one of them isn't having their soul drained by necromancy.
Well, yeah, except minus that part.
That was a really pretty movie, though.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
Never saw it.
You would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking gorgeous.
I only really understood this few sprinkled in Hearthstone references. That was it.
Well, Brandon and I looked heavily into Warcraft lore
I know the basics of it.
because we were looking.
Name
It was for the
Gul'dan
Warcraft game.
made
Yeah.
sense. I recognize Gul'dan.
Oh yeah.
I recognize that name.
He's the whole reason all the shitfuckery of Warcraft happened.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot to do with it, that's for sure.
Silly Gul'dan.
Yeah, silly, totally. So with that would be half of them. Next ones they would look at are the other 4.
So did Rulik win?
Yes,
Yeah.
that one wasn't much of a challenge, and he kind of knew going into it that he was probably gonna get his butt kicked, but
I imagine
arguably
that
wasn't
he
the
is a
point.
very seasoned war veteran, and he came across a new young chieftain. And the new chieftain's like, disrespect my surroundings. And he was like, child, you don't understand the
Cat sitting in the ring, he's like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Oh, that hurt a lot.
He's like, child, you don't know the first thing about disrespect.
So of the next 4 tribes, the first one they come across is Hafkin. Hafkin.
Are they a bunch of half
H-I-N.
cyclops?
No. Hey Brock, don't use their names. Hey Brock, the names you found are funny. That's gonna end.
No,
Nope.
it's that they have kin. They've got relatives.
Good.
That's helpful.
We need people.
This tribe will basically respect Rulik upon his approach and his proposal. They sit down, they have feast as guests, yay. There's about 10 of you in total going with him to these other tribes. He basically issues the proposal to join him to
You will join us or
fight
die.
against this threat. And their leader looks at it and says, no leader will take charge unless they were the chieftain and went via the right of challenge. Then a challenge it must be. And they will fight at dawn. Dun dun dun.
And ours will die.
Rulik, you guys are able to kind of size up. It looks like it, from what the others will tell you of this tribe, it should be a good fight, but Rulik should prevail.
Let's just not roll any dice.
You just take average on everything, 10 and a half.
Yeah, because that can say some different things.
The
I
only
mean-
thing I can do is give him +5 natural armor with iron skin.
Would that cheapen the
I
duel?
also wouldn't do that one because that one has visual effects.
Yeah,
That's
we don't want to interfere too much. We would just need to be subtle.
Based off of what you saw of the first rite of challenge, they are allowed to use. They're not opposed to using magics or so.
They can use their buffs.
They have their magics, their
Yeah.
inside, their abilities that
'Cause
they use.
It sounds like it's supposed to be like the power of your people versus the power of my people.
Yeah.
And your people, well, you have buffers, so they buffed your guy.
Also, from what you can tell from seeing the different tribes, you definitely really kind of see the effects of what you guys did in Gul'dan and its actual like effects in the real world. I mean, you saw like the servants that Omoka had, and obviously he would have been more selective with his. But you can definitely tell with some of these other tribes, there are some who are more savage, don't rely as much on like their insight in a worldly, knowledgeable sort of way, more of maybe like more brutal, more combat oriented sort of way. Some who are more passive, less fisticuffs in the same way. Like 2 of the smaller tribes are smaller as in weaker, because they do not rely on it in that way. They are more of like how you saw Gul'dan initially with like their seers, their wise, insightful people.
While we're here, we should emphasize them to use that more. Because had they listened to the original message, they would have had this idea on their own.
That's very true.
So let's emphasize that as well while we're here.
So some of these other tribes just have their different ways of doing it, and you definitely tell there's a nice spectrum of it. They all still have their abilities, but they all use them and focus on them in different ways. So with this, I don't know if you guys actually plan on doing anything or so, or you just let Rulik just go at it. From what you can tell of Rulik, he has basically martial training as a fighter type of thing. And he's more just like a beat stick who has his supernatural abilities that he uses to his advantage, as well. All Cyclops tend to do.
I ain't helping. I'm not helping. I would
Don't
taint this
suppose
match.
he's allowed to choose a champion to fight on his behalf.
He would rather not.
Just wanted to see if that was an option.
That would, not really, no.
Yeah.
He would have to do it, otherwise he's basically discrediting himself as a
What if we
chieftain.
beat the crap out of him first? Could then we subvert our superiority over them, and then as the new leader of that clan, challenge
Yes.
them?
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
Great, let's do that.
Cool,
guys.
we beat up.
So
here's
turns
the
out
thing.
our man is a CR-15 equivalent Cyclops, and he just fucking drop kicks us. He's like, bitch, you thought.
I mean, I had an idea. I didn't write out his stats, but I did decide what he would be. I think it would be
A fighter,
necessary.
8 great Cyclops.
I can take it. We're like, we're
It's like,
sorry,
no,
buddy.
we're partners now. Oh dear, what have I done?
Hey, yeah, we're gonna need another one. No, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk
We're,
about
we're gonna.
it. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think we can probably pull this one off without the fourth. Yeah.
Just start recruiting.
I just like the I don't want to talk about
I
it.
don't want to talk about it.
Just in the background, just kind of like a whack.
So I don't find it a theme of Mitch in this campaign where I tell him you just need to be a character who will go with this. And he builds characters who only go with it enough to start with it and then end up doing their own thing.
In the meantime, like Rolik walks by and he's just like picking out the sword. He's like,
You wiggle. That's weird.
You need to stop talking now.
I don't care if you're thousands of years old. Snap. Duh.
Well, that was excessive and very not wise.
Yeah, I know. Not also, I don't think Mitch or Gilliard decides to challenge Rulik for the fun of it.
Yeah.
No, that's not something I would do.
I didn't think so.
Not unless the sword told me to.
It doesn't.
It,
He's
you don't have
around.
to tell me what the sword says.
That's fair.
I know what the sword said.
It said maybe.
He's like, how long?
It says
I just wanna
maybe
double
on
check
it.
Daisy's spell magic.
Oh dear.
Because I have that now.
Good to know.
Sword says, I am not yet bored with you. You are my supposed dazed creature. Don't fight you. My creature reduced to your spell to become dazed from your rounds of the initial level of the spell. The spell lasts
These spell is pretty cool though. Anyways, so he will go. He will have his tussle in the morning. It'll be a good fight. This one's much closer. He does prevail though.
Hooray!
It is all good in the hood of these Cyclops boys. Hofkin, Druid. And with that, they have more food because they like eating food. Cyclops eat a lot. You definitely realize that Cyclops eat a lot. And then they continue onward. The next tribe is Ulfr's son. Ulfrson. Ulfr's son. This one is similar to Hofkin. The only thing is as you guys get there, you can tell Rulik seems a little uneasy as to their chieftain, who is way too eager to have the fight. He seems to be a little bit tougher, and might prove to be a bit more difficult.
That's wrong
That evening,
The pot sticker sauce is really good with ramen broth.
Oh,
I believe it. Yeah, that sounds about right.
that sauce is just good.
Yeah, it is.
It's just good.
you do hear them talking that night, or I guess during that day for the fights in the evening. Actually discussing strategies with things that he might be able to do to help give him an upper hand, because this one should be a little more difficult. While the others expressing concern that he does not think he'd actually win in a straight up fight, and that would kind of throw everything off. When we was discussing about how they could help buff him, they do mention some less honorable strategies that it might be necessary to do such things and stuff like that.
I give him the boops.
Not quite, but close enough.
Cyclops has diarrhea must suck.
Oh god. gosh.
The less thought about that, the better. I like the idea of something like Malder just perched on his shoulder, just like constantly healing.
Rulik does mention that he is not one for magic and tricks. Although, unfortunately, he is a tiny bit concerned himself that.
The Great Swan is insulted that he calls his boons magic and tricks.
Just Malder turns into a just randomly little thrush swan. The fuck, bro?
I was like, well, I was gonna bother.
Well,
Deal with it, you got it.
Just
no,
the swan.
he is not able to use magic and tricks.
Oh, that he.
What I thought I said, at least.
That
But
makes
he
sense.
feels that something would be necessary.
Ah.
Oh,
Especially-
damn. It's really too bad that this.
I don't know what else is doing besides got real big.
Yeah, they did.
It's a good thing I don't have the spell yet.
So, would we have received
Spell.
any
Have you read
funds?
this spell?
Oh, that one's a good one. Yeah.
Would
That
we have
would be
received
fun,
any
then.
funds from Soligan before this mission?
At least a little bit. You would
Like
have
spell
required
components, or?
some.
I would have bought the wand of lead blades if we had received funds.
Yeah, you could probably have been able to something like that. Yeah.
So between giving him a lead blade cover for the fight and the iron skin,
I can make him bigger.
Just having a large person.
so he'd be
That's okay.
enlarged, and then he'd have lead blades, and then he'd have more natural armor.
So that 3d6 weapon going up 2 size categories.
And it's dead.
I'm looking to see if I already have these.
Is that like a 66 weapon or so? I think.
And I can shoot at the guy.
You don't want to be. You don't want to join the fight.
Nils goes, I'll stare at him intensely, make him uncomfortable while the fight happens. And now here comes the smolder.
Oh dear.
He goes, oh, Duke. Really goes, I win.
Also, if you think it would help, I could also make you invisible.
Like, I'll keep staring at his ass.
No. I think the larger and bigger weapon, though. I like that idea.
Great.
You'll never see
Wait.
it coming.
Yeah, he's gonna have stone skin. He's gonna have stone skin.
That's a DR 10/19.
Up to 100 points right now. 102, 110.
It absorbs the amount of damage you can do cast level.
So his natural armor and bonus will be up to a +5. He'll be a large person, he'll have lead blades, and he'll have stone skin.
Sweet. As this challenge commences, Rulik walks out as a huge sized cyclops. And that cyclops looks and smiles and says, "You as well." And becomes huge size as well. He says, "Now I also have a big axe. Mine's bigger. Let's get this on." And they duke it out. And
They
they
should have found a large size butcher axe beforehand.
Oh dear.
Butchering axe is a 3d6 medium
That is a thing.
It
So-
helped one hit one to do some gross stuff.
It
That would
It'd be a 66 huge size weapon, which would go to 8d6 with lead blades.
sounds about right.
Because after 4, it starts to go by 2s.
Yeah.
I think it's after 10 it goes by 4s.
I think it goes from 8
12 to
to
16?
3d6. I don't remember exactly.
I think it goes 3, 4, 6, 8. Because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So you, this is start. You go 1, 1, 1. I think it goes 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4.
I have to
5, 6,
roll
6.
a 6 to
So I think it doubles.
cast
I think it was
lead
1, 2, 4, 8.
I'll try again.
We have the numbers somewhere,
There you go.
Yes.
There is a pattern.
There isn't a penalty for failing the wand check.
Correct.
Unfortunately.
Unless you fail by 5 or more.
Not for the wand.
No magic mishap, I think, is still a
I
thing.
don't think so.
Not for the
Not for
wand.
wands?
You can just keep poking yourself until it works.
Yeah, I looked it up today.
I know other things do have that.
Other things do, but not the wand. Plus, I can't fail by 5 or more, so.
Well, if you need a 6, a 1 would be 5 or more.
That is what that means.
That is exactly what
Oh,
it is.
so I have a 14, so failing by. Oh, I thought it was more than 5. My bad.
5 or more.
You don't want rights.
So notice 1, 1, 2, 3, 10 have been my rolls for tonight.
Sweet. I like it.
Yay.
So they do get out, and they get some good hits back and forth. Basically, the fight, you can tell he's still laid some good solid hits on Rulik. But he does end up going on top because of the buffs. Ah, Cyclops, angry, asserting dominance sort of things. Yay! Hey, guess what? They eat some more food. They like food.
Yay.
Well, I think Cassandra's gone from like 130 pounds to like 160 pounds on this trip.
You guys are eating a lot of food. Okay, well, there's just a lot of food presented to you. I don't know how much you actually eat.
I have a very high metabolism. I actually normally eat a lot of food.
Oh, there you
But
go.
I'm still 125 pounds, 6'1".
I understand that feeling.
I have to maintain my dainty figure, so I don't eat a whole lot.
Are you a vegetarian?
Yes.
Totally.
Still
Yeah.
eat
Also,
cheese.
not just eat.
But he can still eat cheese.
Are you not vegetarian?
Cassandra?
Yeah.
No, she maintains a very healthy diet in portions of proteins and vegetables.
What are proteins?
Unlike Brandon.
Brandon, we live off carbs.
Yes, we do.
Smatterings of protein.
Yeah. I might partake in that a bit. Cultivate. But the next two tribes, the last two tribes, are the ones that are, well, things will for sure become more difficult. They are the two stronger tribes in the area. Hrapkin, Hrappkin.
He's a PP.
Hrapkin.
Sorry.
Hrapkin is the tribe where these two tribes aren't as friendly or as open. Hrapkin would be the ones that are considered less honorable, more likely to use dirty tactics and to not exactly play fair. And while clearly Rulik is not opposed to it, as you guys kind of just helped him, it would definitely be necessary and to keep your eye out while in their territory.
So I have a fun idea for what Maldrick's gonna do to help out. If Maldrick at any point in this fight sees someone cheating, he's gonna flame strike them.
Yes.
Make a great display
Flame strike them.
of the great swan disapproving and smiting them.
I like the idea of there just be a little thrush. It's tiny enough, maybe the idea. All it says is a swan just flame strikes a cyclops. And it just flies away.
Just no.
You bring dishonor to your family.
Fortune smiles upon Rulik.
That's how a swan sounds, right?
I think they're more like a honga honga.
That's actually probably closer.
Just a little bit. So,
Let's find out.
off to Hrapkin, the Hrapkin tribe, where you can basically just tell from being there that it's a little more uneasy and less trustworthy. But you are here nonetheless for the same reason.
Yes.
You will have a few hours to prepare before the challenge begins. And Rulik would definitely ask to keep a watchful eye out, as he is definitely expecting them to do something.
Nils is going to then put his security training and just be looking around.
I like to imagine you have your binoculars.
He's making sure that we only eat food that we brought.
What?
Like,
We're being paranoid now.
You're being paranoid with these guys.
This is the cheater tribe.
Yep.
So,
Well,
I
they
think
expect dirty tactics.
Maldrick's gonna go to bed early,
Yay.
like 4 hours early.
Yay. Now are you just good to go the whole time?
That way I can take over for second watch, and then I'll go back to sleep.
Fair enough. Each of you, so you go ahead and you set up your watch. You're basically inspecting the place, being like, haha, I used to do this for a living. Running guard.
Exactly.
You definitely do notice there are some people kind of like eyeing the situation as they just walk past. And you pretty much can tell they're watching, probably looking for something, whether it be an opening or some sort of weakness or something.
You know, does this tribe also have a population of small folk?
There are some, yes.
That's especially what I'm looking out for. Especially any small folk that are like talking with a cyclops.
Oh, for sure. You actually notice at one point as one was walking past, there's a halfling sitting on one of the cyclops' shoulders.
I just kind of like.
The smallest of folk.
Smallest of folk.
I then
Yeah,
see
you
it
tell
as he
Neville.
grabs it and throws it at the window.
Throws the halfling.
And then the halfling flies and pulls out 20 daggers.
Yeah, I was like. Just,
As he's flying through the air, he pulls him and he looks at you. He just winks as he keeps flying.
I just kind of wink
And
back.
that's a picture from one of the 3rd edition books.
Yes.
I don't think it was a cyclops, but I think it was like a bugbear. Just hucks a halfling, and you just see him flying through the air like, hey.
It does something there, yeah.
It just knows it's like.
Target practice. Go, Mitch, go.
Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing.
As it gets closer, you kind of notice it still keeps happening every once in a while. You did specify you do not want anyone eating food that is not food you guys brought.
Yes.
And there definitely is a time or two where you're kind of like, no. As they, people try to eat, whether it's directly or indirectly, not their food.
Hey.
You do see someone basically like take like a basket of apples, kind of like switch them out.
It's like, hey.
Someone small just scurries off.
It's like,
You son of a bitch.
no, don't eat the apples.
Candies are gone. Bye.
Just starts grabbing them, just like running after guys.
Just starts like, you know, I can't shoot apples.
But no, just like they run off with the basket. This goes up.
Yeet. Yeet. Yeet the apples out of there.
They don't just see apples.
You do also notice at one point there is a small folk getting, as it's getting real close to the actual time. Kind of sneaking around is oddly close to Rulik.
Back away.
Rulik, excuse you? Oh, so you can't walk over, you just pick up someone. And then
Him, pardon me.
he picks him up and yeets him on out of there. That's meant to like to yeet people out of there. Basically what you realize is there were 2 or 3 times when they did try to sabotage the opposing side as the dickheads that they are. But beyond that, did you guys do anything else as preparation as it gets real close to the fight itself?
I can only do the same 2 buffs that I have.
You do the same things?
I would do the same as well.
Yeah, he gets big.
I will get out my
I will offer
box.
again for him to be invisible this time.
Can you do that after I walk in?
I can do it as you walk in.
Kinda have to see me as I walk in though.
Oh, right. I know.
Walk out with it. Let the games begin. Slaps his ass. Disappears.
He would not
More
be able,
like a.
he would not be able to walk in with him, at least not visible. But
I could cast invisibility on myself, go out there and cast greater invisibility on him,
oh god!
and walk away. So yes, I can.
Oh.
Then it will work. So walk
Besides, I
out.
think it'll be more fun for you to walk out there, grow big, then turn invisible.
Ah, yes, that would.
Perfect.
I like these small folk. They're good. So walk out, do their little thing. He grows big. He gets a little buff.
Neil's just going throughout the crowd giving people apples.
Gosh,
These were delivered to us. We just couldn't eat them all. We were so stuffed.
Oh my
Everyone
gosh,
gets
that's
them
awesome.
back.
Have an apple? Oh yeah, sure.
I don't feel so good.
The first person takes them out of the apple, it explodes, and then goes, "Oh, that's what they wanted to do."
I'm holding these. Or he's like, how would they do that? I want to know.
Nils like pulls the stem off one, and all of a sudden like it just opens up, and Nils goes, "Oh, it's a pipe bomb."
Yay! I'm a bomb.
I'm a bomb.
As the fight commences, he gets big, and suddenly disappears. And you just hear like, oh, this will be fun. And they just start wailing on him. Their chieftain is being very defensive and trying to avoid the invisible man as he's getting beat. And conveniently enough, with what Maldrick was saying he wanted to do, you do see someone giving outside aid. You actually notice that while you may not have spellcraft, you can definitely tell when someone is magically being healed of his wounds. And when that guy is not casting magics.
Wow,
The
great
Great Swan
shield.
disapproves. Flame strike.
Give me a perception check.
I rolled a 2.
Let's see if Cyclops will reveal that it's not a stealthy Cyclops.
25.
Yep, got it. You got it? Alright, you had enough.
I got a 7.
Proud of you, you don't see anything.
11.
So I'm curious, Mr. Swan, how do you a smite said interference?
I'll fly out from my perch and make a great display and clap my wings together.
Sonic boom!
And smite the cheetah.
We're gonna go back to regular times, and Sullivan's gonna go, "Why are my people now worshipping swans?"
No. Swans. A
Swan.
Well, funny enough,
You
Swan
should
were
be
already
better.
called out as being Prathos' sacred animal.
Yep.
So,
Oh, are they really?
Yep.
Yes.
one of them mentioned that
Yep.
earlier. Oh yeah, the guy he saved.
Yeah.
How they are a sign of good fortune.
I love
Oh, I thought you were just bullshitting.
No,
I just
this is a
really,
legit thing that has happened now, thanks to someone's actions.
I just really like the idea. You're just like, you should be better at cheating.
Cheetahs never prosper.
Boom! Thunderclap.
Except for when they do.
And that guy basically gets smoted. And
I don't think he died. Well, he might die.
It's like,
no, I mean,
so.
no, he wouldn't die. He definitely feels it and
Same.
knows otherwise from when Prathos' sacred animal smites him to stop cheating.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, I feel like 42 damage is a solid, like, stop cheating.
Wait.
save and heal spells for yourself.
What would that DC be, just out of curiosity?
Level spell is flame strike again?
5. Oh, Druid, it's 4. Just get your foot out of there.
Aww. He never play footsie with me anymore.
Sad. It's sad.
But either way, it definitely is very noticed.
21.
Oh, he doesn't make it.
22.
He does not make it.
Hey, buddy, turn down.
Oh, I'd love one.
Oh, no.
Are you sure? I turn invisible.
Well, I
And
guess.
Apple suddenly disappears.
Well,
I grab 2.
I got two apples disappear.
well, your call.
Well, you
What's he rolling?
Don't worry about that later. Don't worry about it.
A cyclopean fort save.
Fair enough.
Oh no, I'm not eating them.
Even better. So after that happens, magically that Cyclops that is being attacked and is visible stops suddenly healing after he gets hit. It's weird. I know, it's kind of funny how that works. Well, for the most part, the rest of the fight seems to go off without much of a hitch. one cyclops is definitely very not in good standings to almost everyone, and Rulik ends up prevailing on top.
I hope so. He was invisible for like a little over a minute.
Frick, yeah. That guy was swinging around. He looked like he got like 1 or 2 hits, but that was kind of it.
Brock, did you do the same thing as I did in Kingmaker, and as soon as you encountered your first set of invisible people, have everybody at the next level grab blind fight?
No, I just had 2 people have see invisibility, and that just works for everyone conveniently. They're like, hey, he's here. At least that's what it seemed like. So my sorcerer, I knew I would fight invisible people, so I just had, once you grabbed the convenience spells, took see invisibility, and then it just seemed convenient enough that she was able to cast it.
Yeah, my first group didn't have a caster.
That's right, you didn't.
I had 2 fighters, 2 paladins, a cleric, and an alchemist.
Oh.
We were at shop until I found those invisible guys, and then we leveled up, and everybody's at blind fight.
That's fair.
And then they highlight them with a silhouette. They still get a 50% miss chance, but they don't get any buffs.
But they get to take the attacks.
And they still
stuff.
would actually try.
There you go.
Yeah, think about that. Because I definitely would have had the feats to have done that on my 2 fighters and 2 paladins, if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So, Propkin tribe ends up, well, joining under their banner. Yay! They were a little dirty. They tried some other tactics. What do you do with those 2 apples, out of curiosity?
I honestly, I feel like I'm just going to bring them with me to the future and hope that messes things up enough.
I'm so glad we have no chaotic people in this party. So glad that was a stipulation, because that would be real concerning. Time travel.
Yeah, he doesn't have any chaotic people. He has a chaotic sword. That was clearly not in the rules.
It's
He
not
couldn't have a chaotic
chaotic.
sword.
It might be evil, but it's not
This
chaotic.
isn't chaotic. This is very calculated.
Well, as we found out, Bob the God of Chaos is the most calculating individual that has ever existed.
Don't you read book 4?
Fair.
No. I still haven't finished the books I started before I bought it.
Bob Goblins.
Probably.
Anyways, so there is the last tribe. And the last tribe is advised against dealing with, saying it might not be worth it. And Rulik is also kind of hesitant, wondering if they would even bother. They are Torvason. Tiorvason. Torvason. They are, well, to put it lightly, the dickheads of the region. They are arguably the biggest and strongest and the meanest. They would not only probably fight dirty, but also maybe not even honor it, even if he did win. Even if he did win the fight, they most likely would still not like the idea of following an outsider. Unfortunately, to get them to really join, you probably would have to make them join by force.
Extra point.
I don't think you want them in your group if they're only going to listen to you so long as you're strong.
We know what you need.
They would be the ones that would be the most difficult for sure.
They're not
Having
worth
the other 7 join us should be enough.
I mean, at the very worst, we could use them as test subjects and see what happens if we attack the humans and then frame that tribe.
That's
the little
fair.
retaliation they have.
This is what they get for not trusting outsiders.
Mhm.
They get
Screwed by
screwed by
outsiders.
outsiders.
Trust us, but we'll give you a reason not to.
Open this door.
You could get
Open
with
this
this,
door so
or you could get
and I'll
with that.
protect you. Protect you
You
from
better
what?
get with this,
Well, due to if
because
you
this
don't
is where
open
it's
this door.
at.
What did you say?
I said you can get with this or you can get with that, but you better get with this because this is where it's at.
Hey, want an apple? They are red apples, by the way.
Oh, perfect.
What kind of red apples?
Kind of red apples, I don't know.
Get yourself.
I'm gonna name them. I'm gonna name one, and you're gonna tell me they don't have red apples. I don't know. Granny Smith.
That's green.
That's
That's literally why I just said that, and you looked at me funny, like I'm supposed to know what kind of apples there are.
Fuji?
Fuji.
Gala? Those are like the two big ones.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Produce Person.
I said them in unison with him.
Red Delicious. They have red in the fucking name.
Because I totally know names of apples.
As long as it's not those stupid ones that they give the teachers that are just all meat.
I mean, and then there's grapples.
Grapples are gross.
Apples are delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're like soggy ass, like we dunked the apple in the
Soggy? Which
smelly
grapples
ink.
did you have?
They're grape flavored apples, probably.
Oh, weird.
It's like the Sniffy Pen grapes. Yeah, they taste like that.
Ugh. They said
I've never tasted those.
they don't. They said they taste like if you mixed a grape with an apple.
They don't taste like a pen?
No.
Okay, well that's good.
Brandon's crazy.
I am crazy.
So, back to this. Rulik has successfully, with your guys' help and some advice, gone and conquered 7 of the other 8 neighboring Cyclopean tribes with their small folk that are associated with them. Even though one of them
Nice.
does kind of have some dickheads who aren't exactly honorable, but that's okay. You were arguably dishonorable in the same way. Not really, but still.
We were superior, dishonorable individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and a swan smile for being
Yeah, how
super.
fucking dare they?
Yeah, with dickheads. That's okay. So, they're united to fight against them. After this point, there would be a large celebration to commemorate such an event and to pray to good fortunes that they will benefit from it in the long run.
Well, I mean, I will grant you those good fortunes, don't you worry, kiddos.
Says the wonderful swan.
I am quite wonderful.
Malgic slowly paid himself to turn into a deity by just planting seeds throughout history of swans. And the great swan god will arise.
I just think it's an investment in our future.
The paladins of
That's fair.
Malbec.
Oh, it's Malgic. Oh boy, the holy and powerful swan.
Mighty and powerful.
During the nice feast with a great big bonfire and giant
Giant food?
dinosaur
Giants.
food that will be eaten by many.
Yeah.
You are approached by Rulik, and he will ask how long you plan on staying around.
Look, my
and if
friend,
there
have you ever
are-
thought about wearing a tux?
Oh, what now?
What? Brandon
What
gets
is a
it.
tux? I get it.
It would look so dashing.
Skulls and shackles?
Yes.
The best part is that the tux were like the $1,000 over extra plunder that we needed to
That
win.
was the best part.
To win in the best way possible, you still won.
Yeah.
I mean,
there
that's
was
fair.
still one.
But you won plus.
But the tuxes made a difference. That was the great part. So, they will ask if you plan on staying and helping with Lurgen or not, or if
I do not believe so. I think you have all the tools that you need.
well, then thank you, my friends, for your help. It is greatly appreciated. I will make sure it does not go to waste.
Of course. Best of luck.
Oh, thanks. He does not break your hand. He is not a jerk.
So he's now going to form like a Cyclops country here.
That is the idea, is that this is the seeds to form a grander civilization for them.
So I'll say out of curiosity, what will you name your new coalition, your eventual country?
Just call it New Golgan. People do that all the time.
Newligan
No, only America does that, let's be fair.
No, I'm pretty sure there are new blanks in Europe as well.
Newligan Amoka.
Yeah.
New Mocha?
Ooh.
Well,
That sounds a lot like Amatha.
When you spill your drink at Starbucks,
Oh.
what do you need?
And Amoka.
I mean, first off, like New Guinea is a thing.
well, go figure, I haven't heard of this one.
You've never heard of New Guinea?
But it's a colony.
Have you ever played Risk?
Apparently not enough. No, because people don't like playing Risk with me.
Ultimate strength.
Because he holds up in Australia.
No, that's the worst place to hold up. Just take like America's or something.
Anyway.
Pathfinder's boring.
Yeah, that's fair. It actually is kind of
It's a
boring and
really
tedious.
slow, tedious game.
It is actually, that's true.
Unless you're playing on the computer.
That's fair, and the dice rolls are all automated. And then you get mad at the dice rolls because computers are rolling them.
Yeah.
That's how that works?
Damn,
But computers are dumb
computers.
in those sort of games, so you can just typically outlast them.
Yeah.
How about you name it Mongolia?
When you critically success 16 rolls in a row that you don't really need to critically success at, you know that eventually the game's gonna try and balance out to get average, and you're like, fuck. Your job is average. I'm not excited for average.
Well, at this time, the tribe is Vilborg. And there's not really a reason to change that at this time.
The Ville Bourgeoisie.
The what? I think I should just ask other. In one way, I want to like ask other people to give me names for things, but at the same time, like I'm worried about what names I'll get if I do this.
I'm telling you, Mongolia.
I'm not asking.
To New Golgan.
It works. It's easy to remember.
Does your character say that?
Yeah. Where's my visible jet?
My one concern is that that would be asking too much. Maybe in the future that would be appropriate.
We can work with that.
The New Golgan.
See you later.
See you in the future.
I'm out.
We get back. Hold on, we need to go back into their future real quick.
No,
see if
no.
we got-
Okay, so Mocha, can we just go like 10 years in the future first? From here. Why? I want to make sure you got the name correct.
They said they worried about in the future, so I figured if we go to their future real quick and just maybe give them one little extra nudge towards the New Golgan idea.
You just appear, you see Rulik, you're just like, New Golgan.
No, the swan would say it.
No, he hears the whisper and then he sees a swan flying in front of him. He's like, it's a sign.
I want us to like go 10 years in the future, and like there are no more cyclopses, and
There's
they've
only
lost.
swan.
There's only swan.
Just swans.
I mean, there's always the possibility. We could say, no, we're not going to join. Pop out. Didn't work. Pop back in. Say, just kidding, we change our minds. And then help.
Anyways,
Meldrick plans on helping. Meldrick wants his people to succeed. He will grant them great divine boons of fire from the heavens.
oh, that's great.
I mean,
Can't even get mad.
Nils thinks that would be entertaining.
Probably would be. I mean, that was entertaining just a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, is
Was
there
it a couple
good?
days ago? Never mind. But yeah, if there was nothing else, then for you guys to do here, Mitch will propose a name that may or may not end up being a thing, and more swan endeavors and have occurred, and then that'll be it.
Yay!
So, after all is said and done,
Also, we recommend not to build a lot of coastal cities.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
what's wrong with coastal cities? Good for trade.
Because the southern lands aren't sodden right now, are they?
No, this isn't here. This is a nation.
And it goes out a little further.
Let me put it this way: anyone who can roll knowledge history, let's get some good details of it.
Oh, it's on its feet. That's a pretty good sign. What do I know?
I don't actually have that trained.
That's why I rolled a dog.
Which is
I
a
figured
bummer.
that out. Does anyone have knowledge history?
No.
Never mind. Do you know the Sonnenlands formed after the Eye of Abendego?
Yeah.
Fair.
Max,
Never mind.
max knowledge on E4.
Never mind. I guess you know what the Sonnenlands end up becoming, even though they're not called the Sonnenlands.
You're like, huh, these go up further than they used to. I mean, further than they will. And there's not a giant, massive, angry storm off the coast. Maybe nobody's pissed off Ghoster yet.
Go piss off Ghost.
It's not gonna piss off Ghost, right?
We could be the reason for the Eye of Abednego. Just think about it.
Oh gosh.
On bothering snake.
Honestly, no, it's kind of funny though. When I was looking at Golgan at one point a while ago, they call out specific ruins and stuff. And there's a specific little island out here that we have that's even called out.
Yeah.
It's actually called out in there. Like, yeah, there's some stuff here. And it's like, oh, hey, we know that place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It's a canonical source because now it's in a adventure path.
But yes, so after that, pop back into the present. And funny enough, when you look at the grand map of the Inner Seas region, the Mwangi Expanse actually is not a part of Cheliax in your present day, but it is actually a nation that arguably has two names. Its official name is Vilborg, and its unofficial name is New Golgan. It basically depends on who you ask.
Like, pretty sure it's New Golgan.
You can call it that, and no one will tell you you're wrong.
Pretty sure
For the
it's
most part.
Maltrick.
Was that Maldrakia?
Maltricia.
No, that's the god they worship.
Should have been called Swanland.
New
They
Swanland.
worship the deity of the Maldrick Swan within the nation of New Golgan.
Oh boy. So there is that nation that is basically,
Cassandra is now a cleric of Maldrick.
oh gosh.
Hey, praying is real easy.
Yeah, you got something.
Hey.
She's gonna sit on her head and she's gonna be like, he needs to die in fire. Fire.
So this new nation
Go back in time
of
after
Bulberg.
Starstone was raised, and then you need
Just sitting on the shore waiting for Harrigan.
Hey, mate, how's it going?
Is a swan. I have heard great tales of you, my lord. Then just flies over and goes to the Starstone. Pew! Emerges a swan the size of a rock.
But even bigger.
Just the rest of us over there, just like,
He did it. They go up so fast.
Real fast, you baby god. But no, so this nation will have the Carverlands, which is part of the Mwangi Expanse, the Shackles. It doesn't have Sargava because there are mountains in the way, but it basically does have a large portion of this that is its nation. Boom.
It's still jungle.
It's still jungle. It's arguably more and arguably less ferocious, depends how you want to look at it. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that they just ate, so a lot of those beasts and nasties aren't there. But also, it's a Cyclops Empire. Yeah, that's basically protected all around by mountains. It's funny how the Mwangi Expanse is kind of isolated and protected like that. Weird. Just like it's the Amazon or something.
In the Amazon.
As you guys are able to tell, yes, the sacred animal of Prathos, the Cyclops deity, is a swan. It's funny how that works. Thanks, Swan Boy. But that will basically be it for 2 days' adventures.
Yay!
Nice.
You do know that the next thing you guys will deal with will actually involve Taldor. Some of their expansionary and some of their expansions and dealing with them in some way. Yeah.
Trying to find a city name, but it's hard. There's a city in the Mwangi Expanse that is ruled by a monkey king,
Oh yes, I remember reading on that. I don't know which one it was either.
and it's a city that worships Angazan, who is a demon lord, and whoever defeats the current ruler gets blessed by Angazan and becomes the Monkey the Ape King.
Monkey King.
So the rumor and the legends around the Ape King is that he is immortal due to the power of Angazan. Because everyone who kills him turns into him.
That's a thing.
Nifty.
Yeah.
Alright, night.
Randy's go back. He looks tired.
Good night, everybody.
Constant station.